Whether learning a foreign language is easy actually depends on your definition of the word proficiency. Someone who thinks it's a good idea to learn new vocabulary by jamming them into Vietnamese songs will tell you it's easy. It's not. And here are some of the reasons why learning English is not as easy as it's always been sugar-coated to be. Number one, it's hard to know where you're going. Many of us didn't make our own decision to start learning, right? Well, at least I didn't. Some just tried to do our parents' bidding, some started because of the peer pressure, or some sort of vague other motivated goals like that. And right off the bat, we already have a problem because most of our motivation comes from the desire for recognition or fear of punishment from other people. So our objective is extremely prone to change. Like for example, some of us want to master English because you want to earn a place in a Western society, you just love Western society, and then the media just changes their narrative and goes, alright, from now on, China is actually good, America bad, Orange Man is always bad, and the entire continent of Europe is stupid. Also, Taiwan doesn't exist, and it just be like, well, English is overrated anyway. And sometimes just when you start coming to terms with your substandard language ability, some 14-year-old with impeccable accent shows up in your newsfeed and boom, your goal has just been shifted again as your self-esteem flew right out the window. Even when you know that you should personalize your goal and focus on your own development, you can't help but constantly questioning your objective out of insecurity. Because a universal goal for everyone doesn't exist. But you know what else also doesn't exist? That's right, the best method. Every day you see people sharing their exclusive methods on the internet, sometimes with their achievements to back it up. Some say they learn from books by talking to themselves or just chatting with abstinent foreigners on Tinder. None of them are wrong though, but if you try to replicate their success, it is very unlikely that you get the same result. Like for example, I improved my skills by writing scripts, making contents, learning IELTS, and watching decapitation videos on Chaotic. But my learning habit was formed halfway through my 10-year learning process, not prior to it. So as I learned, I realized what suits me the most and what can give me the most enjoyment without compromising my progress. But there's nothing to guarantee it'll work for people with different interests, purpose, and level of commitment. There are no one-size-fits-all approaches. It's just that all of them share the same principle, that they all require a significant amount of time and effort. But if you're looking for one that doesn't, try this one. Step 1. Come to my place. Step 2, give me your money. Step 3, go home. Step 4, kill yourself and hope to be reincarnated in some English-speaking country. Number 3, can't even trust your brain. Well, I ain't no biologist, but I know our brain is conditioned to forget. It tries to delete the information it deems irrelevant and fill in the blank with the information it's more familiar with. So after a couple of weeks of not exposing yourself to English, you start to have words at the tip of your tongue, unable to spit them out. You won't be able to speak a long sentence without stumbling on yourself or messing up the accent. At that point, normally you would look at your achievements in the past and feel a strong sense of guilt, as if you're lying to people. Unless your IELTS result is actually fabricated. When you try to read a sentence in your mind, the brain doesn't try to pronounce the words properly. For example, you might look at the sentence right here and the voice in your head just goes, God will introduce COVID-19 program soon. What's happening here is that the brain is trying to use the most dominant tone, vowel, and consonant system it has been exposed to articulate the words. And I'm fine with that. But you know what is even more bullshit? When you try to speak, it does the complete opposite. I mean, the accent in your head sounds perfectly native, but when a sentence comes out of your mouth and sounds like hot diarrhea.
Do you understand the words that are coming out from my mouth?
There's nothing wrong with admitting that it is difficult to learn the language, and one should never feel ashamed for struggling during his learning process. Because you're not the only one encountering those frustrations. And also it's not your fault that you're having to deal with them. Maybe it'll make you feel better. I've been Jackson. See you next time.